Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sports Express Weekend Football Wrap-Up Show. I'm Rob Bennett here with Dan O'Hara. Got a special guest this week, Auburn Maroon Defensive Coordinator Matt Moskov. Coach, thanks for coming aboard.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Talking some defense.
Talking some
That's what
defense,
it's all about.
absolutely.
From Pop Warner to the Dome, from 5Ks to marathons, from Little League to work leagues, focusing on the community sports lifestyle in Central New York.
Do it to it. Go and do it.
So another big week for West Side Section 3 teams in high school football action. Auburn, big win, 41-7 over Penfield. And in an absolute slugfest in Class C football, Skinny Atlas outlasted Canastota. What was the score of that one? 40-34. Cato Meridian looking really tough this year. 2-0, really stuck it to the Port Byron Union Springs team.
I got faith in Colin.
Yeah, Colin had a rough week, and I think he's got Skinny Atlas coming in next weekend. So I don't know if Colin's going to be getting much sleep
Skinny Atlas,
this week.
I believe.
They do go to Skinny Atlas. That's
Yeah.
right. Marcellus improves to 2-0. Big win over Cortland, 39-13. So that's 2 wins for Marcellus, first Syracuse IT, and then Cortland starting to get into the meat and potatoes of their season going forward. Just to keep you up to speed in some other games, Double A action, Fayetteville Manlius defeated CBA 40-16. Zach Conley, quarterback, got the win in that one.
Good for Zach.
We'll follow up with some Conley information in a little bit. West Genesee 28, Corcoran 12. And Section 4 team Horseheads defeated Baldwinsville 41-14. Pretty big margin of victory in that one. Class A, ESM 30, JD 0. Central Square, Coach Kalfas' team is 2-0, 45, Nottingham 7. We talked about Auburn. Class B, Bishop Ludden 26, West Hill 6. Homer gets their first win of the season, beats IT 34-22. Solvay 40, South Jefferson 14. And again, in Class C, it looks like it's going to come down to Canastota. Looks like it's going to come down to Syracuse and probably Loudville. Loudville put another beating on General Brown after Canastota did last week, defeating them 44-14. And Onondaga, down in Class D, got handled pretty easily by Frankfurt Schuyler, 39-12. So that's the scores that we want to talk a little bit about. A lot of other great things happening in the area. Of course, the Syracuse-Clemson game. Tim Green getting his number retired. Well, there were a lot of good things going on there. The game itself wasn't all that exciting, but Tim Green got his number retired at the Dome. Had his family there. Very, very touching scene. A lot of people in attendance wearing Team Green shirts. That was very, very nice to see. On Thursday, you and I got to spend some time with the Zunick Award winner Dan Conley. You want to talk about that a little bit?
It was a good time. I was honored that he asked me to be a part of the celebration, and it was a good time. We're gonna have that hopefully edited and get that out there too.
What is the Zunick Award that Dan was given?
The Zunick Award is given to a Syracuse player who shows selfless acts. We'll have the whole video to explain it, but the Zunicks gave up their seats on a plane. They were first class. They gave it to somebody else. The plane had issues, crashed. The people in their seats survived. They didn't. So, it's about selfless acts, and Dan Conley definitely is one of the most, selfless people I know. He donates his time to everything. If I call him up and say, hey, you want to do this dinner for this charity? Yep. And he doesn't bat an eye.
Yeah, he's always looking to help people out. He's great like that. And a lot of stuff with kids, which obviously is near and dear to our heart. Dan is always volunteering his time for high school teams, semi-professional teams, youth teams. Really gives a lot back to the community. So the football club hit the nail on the head with that one, giving Dan his award.
Yeah, one thing that stands out is, he got, when he got let go from Syracuse, he got other offers. He's good friends with Ed Ogeron, and
Sure.
Got other offers, and he declined these offers to, coach because of his kids. He wanted to coach his kids, and he was explaining to me how, how many hours in a week you have to put in to coach D1 football. And, he decided that, hey, I'm going to coach my own kids and try to get by, and he's done very well with it.
Yeah, well, FM defeated CBA this weekend. Zach Conley was passing 2 for 4, 41 yards, playing quarterback, and 4 rushes for 12 yards. So seemed to be getting the job done in that one.
Yeah, no, by the way, there's 2 more Conley boys behind him. You got TJ
They're lining up.
and Nate. And Nate has total disregard for human safety syndrome. So they always say the youngest one is the nut. So we'll see.
Wow, that sounds good. Yeah, that was a great event out there. Dan invited us to his tailgate at the One Group, talk a little Syracuse Clemson football with Nico Tamurian, and again, just a gracious host, took really good care of us, and just a great football weekend. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of the show and talk some Auburn Maroons football. Again, we've got defensive coordinator Matt Moskov here. And Dan, I know you were out there, and I'll just let you run with this.
Well, first of all, I want to apologize to the Jordan Albert youth team. We went out there. I did some coverage on Sunday. They had games under the lights. There was an issue with the footage that I took, so we're going to get back out to Jordan and take care of that one.
Yeah.
It was a great game, though. They got some athletes on that team.
Fantastic program. They've had a fantastic program for a long time, and now they play on that state-of-the-art turf field, and it's a great show out there.
Auburn kid on that team, Zayden Tillman. Woo! He's a big boy.
Is that why he's playing for Jordan Albers instead of the Auburn Indians?
It is.
Yeah.
They put him at fullback and look out. But no, we'll get back out to Jordan and we'll make some things happen. But hey, this is my first chance to cover Auburn. I know Tommy did it last week, and I had a lot of fun watching these guys play. We said in the earlier shows it was going to be exciting. It was absolutely, I loved it. I just, there's some plays that we're going to take a look at that are, I think they're the real deal. I think this is the best team I've seen in a while. I mean, defensively, you must be pretty happy.
Yeah, we're excited. We got some tremendous players out there, some really good athletes, some tough kids, and some smart football players, which that's what you need.
Yeah, they seem to cover a lot of ground in a hurry.
I showed up at practice one, and a ton of kids, a lot of big kids, a lot of strong athletic kids, and they definitely have carried it over into the season from that first practice through the scrimmage, and now 2-0 on the young season. So what do you got?
Yeah, let's take a look. Here comes Auburn. It's Pop Warner night. Got the cheerleaders, football players. Welcome the athletes to the field. So Auburn wins the toss. They elect to defer. They kick off. So Penfield gets the ball. This is the first 3 plays of Penfield's offense. There's number 88, Connor Mahunick. Great play. Number 56 helping him mop that up. Here's Connor Mahunick again. Reads the inside run really, really quickly. Another loss. Third down comes up, and then you've got Devontae Strachan, literally untouched. Hello, quarterback. He's out, wakes up, gets the ball. Penfield punts. So Auburn's first possession, little pitch out to Robert Morris. Good block there. There goes Robert Morris. But guess what? It's called back because of that holding penalty that I don't really think was a penalty. But, Auburn punts the ball back to Penfield. They get it. Auburn's defense stops them. Now it's 4th down for Penfield. Bad snap. And there it is. Good field position for Auburn. So, Troy Cherney, hey, looking right. Nothing there. Goes back left. It's Dante Herndon. Herndon with a little move. Gets up to the 4. Looking pretty good. 4 plays later. Troy Cherney lines up. Calls his own number here. And loses the football at the 1-yard line. And Penfield takes over. But Penfield can't do anything with it. So Auburn gets the ball back. 7:19 to go in the second. 9-yard pass, Shaheed Beal. Bad camera work by me. I'll take the heat. And Auburn gets on the board 6-0. 2-point conversion to guess who? Shaheed Beal. So Penfield gets the ball back. Quarterback drops back. He throws one up. Who's there? Dante Herndon with the pick. Nobody sees him because he's small and agile. There he goes down the sideline, gets knocked out at the 20-yard line. Good return there. 4 plays later. Troy Cherney. Oh, that's easy. Sneak up the middle. Another bad camera angle by me. Scores again, 14-0. Third quarter, you may have heard of night moves. This is Beal moves. Little slow-mo action. 22 comes. Oh, snaps the left ankle. Goes back to the left. Oh, snaps the right ankle. Beal gets upfield. Gets a couple yards. Same drive. Here, Cherney finds Beal for a 12-yard score. 2-point conversion is no good. 5:05 left in the third. 20-0. Hey, here's some more Beal moves. You got to love this one. This kid is an absolute joy to watch. Well, let's let him celebrate here. So here we go. Troy Cherney gets a snap. Gives a little end around. Beal just plants his foot. Does a spin move. Up. Breaks number 2's ankles. Gets to the outside. Zach Gallbelly. Good block on the edge. Gets down the sideline. Number 10. He's flying. He's got him. Yeah. He thought he had him. Not today. And I don't know if Beal got clipped here, but looks like he got a little tripped up there and lands down at the 1-yard line. And same drive, Davari Agee. Well, hey, let's give it to number 30. We pretty much gave it to everybody else, and he just walks in for the score. So you're looking at 2-point conversion here. Troy, this doesn't get any easier than this. Looks to his right, finds Owen Spearing in for the 2-point conversion. 136 left in the third, 28-0. Fourth quarter, Dante Herndon rips off a 27-yard touchdown run. And Auburn actually kicked the extra point, and they lead 35-0. 11:03 left in the fourth. Last Auburn score, Davari Agee, 26 yards out. Gets in the end zone. Final 41-7. And, Matt, I mean, the story was essentially the defense. I mean...
Wait a second. You're telling Coach the story was the defense. Every single highlight that you showed there was an offensive play.
Listen.
That's okay, though.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh, sorry, Coach. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's quite all right.
Yeah, he did. He does it all the time. He takes our thunder, and he just ruins it. So... you look at the defense, and there's so many things that these guys can do. There's so many athletes on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, some guys will showcase. Some guys, like James Grimes. Mm-hmm. The kid is everywhere. And you'll see in a lot of these clips that they just travel in packs. Yeah. And, Coach, they make things happen.
Yeah, Coach, what do you think is the strength of your defense?
I think the way they play together as a unit. I mean, we try to emphasize that during the week, with our pursuit drills, getting 11 people to the football, and try to play tremendous team defense. I think that's definitely the strength. No one wants to be the superstar. They all know their role, and they all try to fill that role and then trust each other.
Sure.
Knowing that, one day it might be, Keishan doing the blitz, and then Owen's got to drop back or vice versa, and that once they trust each other and they play off each other. So I think that's really the strength, the way they play as a unit.
Yeah, only gave up 14 points to a very athletic Henninger team last week, and then 7 to Penfield this week. Seems like that defense has got it revved up.
Yeah, I hope so. They, like I said, we try to bring pressure on opposing offenses, a lot of blitzes. Hope we can keep that going. And again, still that great pursuit and get 11 people to that football. Sure. It makes it hard for anyone to run, or get that ball downfield once you get that going.
Okay.
Let's take a look. Hey, we're going to showcase number 56 right here, Keishan Cooper. Here he is. Makes a great play here. Very fast to the football. Good scrape by him. Him and Connor Mahuna clean that up. Here's Mr. Cooper again. This is how fast he is the ball. You actually lose sight of him. He comes all the way around. There he is again. Just literally grabs him and just rips him to the ground. See James Grimes, number 21, in on that one too. Here he is again. I call him the water boy. These are two of my favorite plays of the night. He just comes right through. Yeah. Hey, give us a little celebration. Love it. Pointing. Here he is again. I love this. Actually creates a fumble. Penfield does recover the ball, but, that's just athleticism. Here he is here again. Another play. Him and Connor Mahuna team up on this. Thought they were going to carry the kid to McDonald's. But just another great play, how they bring pressure. Hey, you saw Connor Mahunick in the beginning of the show. Here he is again. shows the speed to the outside, reads the blocks very well, knows where the ball's going, doesn't have to really think twice. And hey, Owen Spearing, we've talked a lot about him. Here he is. Just comes out of nowhere, strips the ball, forced fumble. Great play by him. Here he is again. Coach Moskov said the kid benches like 400 pounds, and he's just incredibly strong.
And that comes from a great work ethic. We were lifting weights today before practice, and he's just getting after it. And there's no stopping him. He's always giving you everything he's got.
And I love this. Coach Moskov says, hey, man, you're on the goal line. I'll give you the center of the field. Just do a quarterback sneak, get some yards. Yeah, not today. We're just going to double A gap blitz, and we're just going to pile drive you. So the defense can pretty much do everything. This is more of the same thing with, hey, let's give you the middle of the field. Let's see what you can do. Yeah, not today. Oh, no, this is the sack by Devontae Strachan. Yeah, that's my mistake. This other play will come up pretty soon. I think this is it. Where they said, middle of the field's wide open. Take it, do a quarterback sneak. Nah, not going to happen today. And oh, by the way, if Penfield does try a little trickeration, there's number 16, Mr. Bailey, ready to clean that up. Very disciplined, stays in his spot. Great play, Owen Spearing over the top. So, based on that, you want to change your opinion on defense?
Yes, you did a great job covering the defense, Dan.
He did.
Yeah, Keisha Cooper, number 56, 12 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble. Connor Mahunik, 6 tackles. Owen Spearing, 9 tackles, a forced fumble. Omar Bailey, his name is
Mackay
right. Bailey, 5 tackles. James Grimes in the mix. I mean, they got a lot of guys that cover a lot of ground in a hurry, and they bring the wood.
What year is Cooper this year?
Senior.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a senior. He's a heck of a wrestler also, and he plays with great intensity.
Yeah.
His motor never stops. He never comes off the field. Like, he starts on offense. He plays all the special teams. And watching him play is just a lot of fun because he's having so much fun out there.
Yeah.
He's high energy, high enthusiasm, always encouraging his teammates. He's a lot of fun to watch.
I had an opportunity to coach him as a 6th grader. He came over and played youth football in Skaneateles, just dominated, I think, the last game. He just took off, and that was the last we ever saw him. but nice to see these highlights, and great to see he's doing some fantastic things for the Maroons this season.
Yeah, so Auburn's got Fulton this Friday in Fulton.
Yep.
What do you expect from them?
They've run a lot of an option look, and they got a pretty good quarterback who does a great job reading the defensive end and what that defensive end does. And, whether the defensive end jumps on the fullback, he'll pull it and take off. Vice versa, if the defensive end jumps on the quarterback, he gives it to the fullback, who's a pretty tough runner. So, the option football, you got to play real assignment-based. And so they do a good job with it. They got some tough kids up in Fulton traditionally. And but our game plan's going to be the same. We're still going to try to come after people.
I think you got the right athletes to cover an RPO-style system. Yeah. I mean, they get there fast. They get there in a hurry. They're big and physical.
Yeah, our team speed helps. That's a tremendous asset we have. Is speed kills, as they say. And look at some of the good defenses throughout the years, be it pro, college, or high school.
Sure.
They all have one thing in common: they're fast.
So, James Grimes, I gotta say, I love this kid. He seems to be like the silent killer.
Yes.
In the defense.
Yeah, he's a 3-year starter. He's been starting since his sophomore year, outside linebacker, and he gets everyone lined up, calls the defense, and kind of knows everyone's responsibility, and does a great job out there.
He's kind of like the kid that he's out there and he makes plays, but he doesn't. Doesn't
bring attention to himself.
Yeah. I go through the film and I see him in the mix, but it's not. He's just filling like all the gaps that he needs to fill. So. I don't know. I mean, I think the front 4, their 3 linebackers are pretty solid. Oh, by the way, you got Troy Cherney back there playing safety. You've got Shaheed Beal out on the field too. Robert Morris.
Shaheed Beal, the human highlight film.
Beal moves. I love it.
All right, so you've got Fulton next week. We just talked about that. What else do you want the community to know about this Auburn Maroons football team?
They're working hard every single day. We have our away game. Then we start our league schedule with Indian River coming to town. They're a tremendous program
every year.
They do some great stuff. They have a real tough offensive attack to defend. Really tricky. Something you can't really mimic in practice.
Sure.
So that's why film study and going over things on the board is vital. But no, we're just going to keep going out there and working hard and playing hard. And
They really put it to, I can't remember, but they put it to some AA school this week.
Rome,
they Rome
beat
Freight
yeah,
Academy
yeah.
63-14 or
Yeah.
something like that.
Their offensive attack is it can be confusing. And it's one of those things that you just can't, unless you run it, you can't mimic it in practice. Your look team or whatever can't run it in practice, and the first time you see it is when you're going to be on the field, and they're just they got guys coming from everywhere, and they do a really good job of up there with this system.
Yeah.
But like I said, we'll study the film and get those guys in there and just attack it the best we can.
All right.
One thing I got to add is that, second game of the season, that wind in Holland Stadium was blowing so hard, and yet Troy just had the perfect touch on a bunch of his passes. There was a couple where he had Beal down the center of the field, overthrew him. Obviously when you went to the north end of the end zone, it was blowing so hard. I don't know, you probably hear it on the film, that he didn't miss him by much. So Troy's touch on the ball is on the money.
Yeah, Troy was 11 for 19 for 76 yards and a touchdown. So that's pretty productive in that win that you were talking about.
Yeah, and he seems to see things that happen in front of him too. So, but it also helps when you got Shaheed Beal out there and Owen Sperring and guys that you can throw the ball to. And by the way, Dante Herndon, pretty good weapon as well. So I don't know. Be interesting to see who's covering Fulton. Are we going to Fulton?
I think we probably should. That should be a good football game.
Yeah. They probably got a good restaurant up in Fulton.
Well, I'm sure they would love to have you up there.
Got to cover it. I'm excited. Got to see more people in the seats.
The game of the week. We debuted the Backyard Sports Network. We live streamed some of the action out at Skinny Atlas, Canastota versus Skinny Atlas this week. Got to get out and do another game and redeem ourselves with that win that you were talking about. Film quality was tough. The audio quality
my film quality
tough.
was awesome, except for the two that I missed.
Other than the operator error.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. So we should talk, and maybe we'll go up to Fulton and live stream that game this weekend.
Oh, we could live stream that. I wouldn't mind that.
All right.
Do little interviews after the game.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, Auburn comes away with that one. And
I just got one question before we end the Auburn Maroons segment. This running back, AG, just looks like a big bruiser. In this game, 11 rushes for 63 yards. We saw some highlights of him last week. He looks like he is bringing it, and it's tough to bring down.
Yes, Davari Age is an awesome young man, such a positive energy. And it's one of those things, we have a lot of fast kids, a lot of great kids. And Davari's a great change-up back because now you're chasing Shaheed Beal, you're chasing Robert, Dante Herndon, Owen. And all of a sudden you got this 250-pound back you're trying to tackle, and it's tough. Yeah. You ask a guy to sit there and take a pounding after a while. After chasing the fast guys, now you got the big guy coming up the middle. So he's definitely a nice change-up, and he really helped us secure the win against Henniger when we needed to wind that clock out, and we started feeding him the ball, and it took a toll on the Henniger defense, and hopefully does the same thing throughout the year. But he's a tremendous young man.
yeah, Davari, take care of that ball.
Yep.
Are we running like this?
No, right. Yep.
Saw that on film. It was like,
Little lightning and thunder going on with the Auburn
Dave
Maroons
Moscow's
this
going to
year.
address that one. I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
So,
All right, well, Coach, thanks for coming in, and wish you the best of luck next week and the rest of the season. Hope you'll come in and talk some more Maroons football with us throughout the course.
Absolutely. Appreciate your time.
so you got Fulton, then you're back home.
back home for the next 2 weeks against Indian River and Whitesboro.
Oh, back
So
to
it's,
back.
back. Some both tremendous programs. Great history in both those programs. They do a great job every year.
You have Carthage on the schedule as
Yes,
well?
they're the last game of the year, and right now Carthage is they're doing really well. They gave Utica Proctor a run for the money this past weekend, and Utica's a tough team in AA, and Carthage has got some serious weapons up there this year.
All right, well, your season seems like it's just getting started as well.
Absolutely.
Rumor has it, if we pack the stands for the next home game, they'll bring the fried dough back. Is that true?
Well, why on a Friday night would you not be at Holland Stadium? Hands down, the best high school football stadium, best high school football experience around.
I got to say this. I was over. Penfield went behind the stadium at halftime, and the coaches, they were talking to the referees, waiting for the halftime show to get over, and the Penfield coaches could not stop talking about how beautiful Holland Stadium
It is a
was.
beautiful stadium.
So,
We were very lucky.
I think we've done about 15 shows. I think 14 out of the 15 I've had a rant about how gorgeous that stadium
and
is. and what a
everybody.
great
I mean,
experience it is.
semi-pro level, the
Yeah.
new teams that we played this year, Monroe County, Lockport, they just sat there and went, "Oh my God, I would love to play here." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, we'll look
Come
it up.
on over.
Yeah, we'll look it up."
All right. You got anything else, Dan?
Nothing. Can't wait for Friday night.
Should be a good
very,
one.
Very exciting. All right, Coach. Thanks again, and we'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon.
Absolutely appreciate
Awesome.
it.
Talk some more defense.
Yeah, all right. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Defense wins championships.
There you go. All right, fellas.
That was awesome. Thank you.
All right.
High school game of the week had to have been out in Skinny Atlas. Class C powerhouse battle. Canastota and Skinny
Did you
Atlas.
not see the Auburn footage I had?
That was 41-7. That was a game that kind of went in one direction the way of the Auburn Maroons. I'm talking about full-fledged, flat-out football game.
Did
Makes
you
sense?
not see the defensive highlights that
I
I
saw
had
the
here?
defensive highlights, and now you're going to hear about some offense because there wasn't a heck of a lot of defense being played out in Skinny Atlas. But two evenly matched teams, Canastota just big, tough, athletic. Skinny Atlas kind of the same.
By the way, I used the word trickeration.
Trickeration.
I got to give hats off to Chris Kudla, offensive coordinator for Auburn. I stole that from
What
him.
about this multiple? Well, we try to be multiple. Is that
I stole
like
trickeration from him.
Okay, not from Coach Pasqualoni. But...
Moving on.
Okay, anyway, back to Skinny Atlas and Canastota. And to be honest with you, it was the Nick Womp show. Nick Womp versus Canastota and all the athletes those guys have. Football game, Skinny Atlas gets the ball, goes down and scores. Canastota comes right back, scores the next two. Skinny Atlas ties it up. Canastota scores again. Probably a pivotal point in the game this week was at that point, there's about 32 seconds left in the half. Canastota's up. All they need to do is run out the clock and get it at the start of the second half. But no, they got a little greedy there, and they ended up paying for it. Drew Marshall rolls out, throws the ball right into Colin Cox's hand. And it was just tough time. Skinny Atlas comes right back to score 20-20 at the end of the first half. They go back and forth, score tied 34-34 when Cody Nesbitt takes an 11-yard pass up the middle and scores. Nick Womp, another just monster day. 13 rushes, 104 yards, and a touchdown. 9 receptions, 85 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, the big touchdown by Cody Nesbitt at the end of the game, and the 2 defensive plays of the game, both by Colin Cox, saw an interception there. Also had a game winner at the end of the game that really iced it. 40-34. Canastota's coming down. All they need to do is score and kick the extra point. Haven't stopped them. The entire dynamic duo of their quarterback, Drew Marshall, and running back, Nick Weber. It seemed like it was going to be tough for the Lakers. However, Colin Cox picks up off the pass, and the Lakers win. Going to show a little bit more of this action here. We talk about Nick Womp being a great receiver. He's just such an athlete. Give him the ball, runs the Wildcat, scores just absolutely tough to stop. Here you see it on the different angle. Same play. Just takes the ball, runs right through the Canastota defense for a 7-yard touchdown. Here again, very, very similar play running the show. Direct snap, makes a fake, goes in the other direction. Just keeps on running in for another touchdown, 2 of his 3 rushing touchdowns on the day. This is the other angle of the same play. Just finds that crease and goes and gets it.
Mike must be so proud.
He is. He's a proud papa. Here we go. This was another big play. James Musso, who experienced some difficulties for the first time in his young career, had an interception, had a fumble, but just steps up, makes a great pass to Womp there. Here, take another look at it. Musso, who just took a beating all day, steps up in the pocket beautifully, delivers a great pass out to Nick Womp in the corner for another Nick Womp Skinny Atlas Laker touchdown.
Nick Womp knew where the field was and where his feet were. I like it.
James Musso scrambling around again. Throws the ball to, guess who? Nick Womp. Very, very excited about the whole thing. And that's kind of how the day went. Every time Skinny Atlas needed a play on offense or defense, Womp came and made it. I don't want to sell the rest of the team short, but Nick Womp was definitely the man on that day, and
Big boy.
yeah, he's a big boy, but very, very impressed with Canastota. They are the real deal. They can throw, they can run. They've got a lot of athletes, and just may see these two teams again for the Section 3 Class C playoffs. Loudville may have something to say about it as well.
How tall is
Nick?
Nick?
Good. I think Nick is listed at 6'2".
6'2".
6'2", 210.
Nick, there's a picture of me smacking you with a bag, and I'm gonna we're gonna show that on the film, on the show. So if I ever run into him, maybe he'll be nice to me.
Yeah, mentioned Colin Cox on defense. 2 big interceptions. Really could not have won the game without those 2 big plays. James Falso, defensive line. He played tough. Billy Richards on offense and defense as well. But it was just a huge win. Talking to Coach Sindoni earlier in the season. And, whole season is going to be tough. But he really knew that they were starting off with 2 really tough teams in the defending sectional champion Holland Patnett and then Canastota. Some of you may remember, but Canastota was probably the toughest game that Skinny Atlas had en route to the state championship in Class C 2 years ago.
What's Skinny Atlas's roster size?
There's about 30 kids on the roster. There's a number of freshmen filling in there, all of whom are playing. A number of them got in that game. Big catch by freshman Grayson Brunel, Patty Hare, freshman linebacker making some plays in that game. Nico Decker, another freshman. There's some guys there kind of are up. Maybe a lot of them are helping, but it's a pretty good roster size for Skinny Atlas and the success of the football team. Just having more people come out. We've got more than 30 kids on our modified team for the first time ever. And the number is just continuing to increase.
I'd like to get out and cover one of the games, see it live.
Well, it is
Take
a
apart
lot of
some
fun.
stuff.
Greatest show on turf? No, it's not, but it's pretty exciting. And only got one more year to see Nick Womp, one of the best players to ever play in this area, one of the best players to ever play in.
He's a
New York
junior?
State. No, he's a senior this year.
Senior.
Yeah, he's got about 700-800 more yards that he needs to break the all-time New York State receiving yards record.
All right.
Had a chance to catch some youth football action out in Skinny Atlas this weekend as well. The B team with Dallas Wilson, someone that you know very well.
I heard he was smacking people.
Yeah, he definitely brings it, but their team is 3-0 now. They defeated that Tully Southern Hills team 36-6. Tully got a little revenge in the C game, the 3rd and 4th graders. Tully won that game 20-0, but those guys are rolling, showing off their brand new Speed Flex helmets out there, keeping the kids safe. And interesting thing as well, even at the flag level, they've got like rugby helmets that they're putting those kids in now. Soft, cushiony, but just kind of protect the heads and make the game of football as safe as they can.
Yeah, I had a chance to go to Jordan Elbridge. Unfortunately, we had a little issue with all the video and we lost it. But I covered the C team. Some people I knew out there. I was so shocked. Samantha Swartwood, she's running the cheerleaders out there. She's a Wheat Sport grad, so I felt kind of at home there. But that as a fan, it was a great game to watch. Jordan was down late in the game and came back to win it. They've got some really good athletes on that team, so I want to get down there and cover them and keep the video so it doesn't get lost.
Well, let's do it, and that's a great segue. People in this area, what we're trying to do here with Sports Express and the Backyard Sports Network is really for you. If you have a great story, you want us to cover your event, reach out to us and send us your pictures, send us your video clips, send us your content. And we'll get it out there. If not on the TV show, we'll get it out on our website through our social media. But we are the voice of the Community Sport Network, and we rely upon you to let us know about all the great things going on in your backyard.
Big weekend coming up, too, so a lot of good games to go watch.
Let's do it. Colin Dillabaugh better do some homework this week.
Love that kid.
He is very special. I think we should head out to the Fulton Auburn game.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We'll talk.
All right.
We need some more people to help us cover more stuff.
We do. We need some contacts for Cato Meridian. Would love to get out and cover that very talented football team that's gotten off to a quick
wish we
start.
had film on that. I'd like to see what they've got and what they can bring to the table. So, even if the high schools say, hey, here's our game film, we're not going to, exploit them or show it off. We just want to show highlights, man. Give these kids some love.
Definitely. And we'll head out. We'll do interviews. We'll cover it the way you want it covered. So we're the voice of the community sport lifestyle. We are Sports Express, broadcasting games on the Backyard Sports Network. Thanks. We'll talk to you next week.